Hey guys. So, have you been or are you currently in a situation or circumstances where you just feel like there's no way out or you don't know what to do? Maybe you've tried everything you can think of, or you've prayed all the prayers you can pray and you're just not hearing anything, or you're not finding a way to get through it. You're not hearing any answers. So I've had this situation coming to me that I went through about 15 years ago, and I've been feeling really strongly to share it. So I hope that it will encourage someone because, I'm somebody that's had, multiple experiences with the Lord over my life that have just let me know very much so that He's real. Um, so it makes it even harder sometimes when I'm really needing to hear from Him and I feel like I'm not getting that. So at this time, about 15 years ago, is when I was going through my divorce, and my husband had left, and I was alone with my son in my house, which I couldn't pay the mortgage for because I couldn't find a job for a really long time. I had just started a job through a temp agency, and we were on the verge of eviction and foreclosure from the home. During the time that I was there and going through this, I just did the only thing I could think of to do, which was I was throwing myself just completely into the Lord, and I was very involved with my local church. And I had been helping them with a lot of events because I do a lot of cooking and I'm very good at it. And I had the keys to the building because I had been going in at off hours to help put things together for different holidays and events. So one night I was on my way home and I had been praying in the car as I always did because praying in the car was like the only time I could get. And I was driving by the church building and I felt a real strong urge to take advantage of the quiet being at night and no one being there to go into the building to pray. So I pulled in and went inside and went downstairs because that's where the sanctuary was in the building, and I laid down on the floor on my hands and knees and I was just praying and crying out to God about everything and asking for help, desperately searching to hear His voice, to hear some answers, just something to help me, to tell me what to do. So after a little while of doing this and not hearing anything, I got up feeling very disappointed and was like, well, I guess that didn't work, and I guess you don't have anything to say, so okay. And I turned around and started walking up the aisle to leave. And as I was getting ready to walk out, I suddenly heard, "Come up here." And it stopped me dead in my tracks. As a matter of fact, I just got chills just thinking about when I heard that. And I heard it again. It said, "Come up here." And I turned around and I'm alone. I'm alone in the building. I'm alone in the sanctuary. And the only light I had turned on when I went down there was this one light that was over the platform, the altar. And I looked and I'm like thinking, is that what I'm hearing to go up there? And I'm like, I don't know if I should do that, you know? And then I heard it one last time and it was, "Come up here." So I was like, okay. So I went walking over to the, couple of little steps to get up on the altar platform. And I'm like, what is going on? So I start to climb up the steps. And as I start to climb up the steps, as I put one foot on the altar on the platform, there was a tangible change in the air. The atmosphere was different. I don't know how to describe it unless you're someone that has felt the spirit, the holy presence of the spirit. That's the only way that you would know. I put one foot on the platform and I could feel it, and it was enough to make me go whoa. And I even like stepped back on the steps a couple of bit, and I was like, that felt normal. And then I went and put my foot back on the platform, and I felt it again. And it was obvious that there was a presence on that platform, on that altar. And I went and got up on the platform feeling this very thick, tangible presence on the stage. And got behind the podium, and I'm looking out at an empty seats, an empty church. And I'm like, okay, what now? And I very clearly heard, tell them what you would tell them if they were in your situation. And I kind of was like, what? And it's tell them what you would tell them in your situation. So I just start talking. And I still, to this day, couldn't even tell you the things that I said. But I basically was preaching to an empty church, not my own words, Holy Spirit putting words through me, preaching to them if they were in my situation, if they had been left, if they had been abandoned, if they had lost everything, all their family, all their friends, all their finances, if they lost their home. And I can't even tell you, the words were not my own. They were just coming through me. And there I was preaching out to an empty church. And when I finished saying whatever I was saying, when I felt like whatever was speaking through me was done, I kind of stopped and waited a second. And then I heard, how do you feel now? And I realized, I was like, better. And I heard, okay, you may leave. And I went to go walking off the platform. And again, that tangible difference from the stage to the steps. And I even did it again. Like, I felt it was like walking through a doorway in a realm. As soon as I stepped on the stairs, it changed. It was normal. And I went back and I felt it. And then I went down and I felt it. And I left. So I think that there was a couple of key things that I was taught in that experience. And that, one, the Holy Spirit can speak through you and to you at the same time. The answers for your situation on how to get through it are within you. The more you're focused on the problem, the more you're magnifying the problem. If you're focusing on helping others, you actually end up helping yourself. It's an experience I'll never forget, because he didn't speak to me the way I wanted him to. He didn't speak to me the way I thought he would. But he did speak to me. And he taught me a lot in that episode of time that I carried with me to this day. Don't expect God to speak to you exactly the way you want him to. Instead, keep seeking and being open to however he wants to speak to you. He will help you and he will give you answers. The question is, will you be willing to accept them? I hope this helps somebody. Love you guys.